Tonight you're about to uncover a powerful secret that Buddhist monks have used for centuries, a secret that has helped them quiet their restless minds, calm their hearts, and find deep, meaningful rest. Imagine the peace and calm you could experience if you could leave behind your stress and truly embrace a moment of tranquility. What if I told you that you could tap into this ancient wisdom and transform the way you feel every single day? So let's begin by making yourself comfortable. Find a place where you can fully relax. Adjust your pillow, get cozy, and let your body settle against the bed or chair. Allow yourself to sink in and feel the support beneath you. Now take one slow, deep breath with me. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs with fresh air, and exhale gently, releasing all the tension you might be holding. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into relaxation, letting go of distractions and connecting with the peacefulness within. As you settle in, know that this time is for you. You're not just watching a video, you're embarking on a transformative journey that has the potential to change the way you approach life. The peace and clarity you're about to experience are not temporary. They can become lasting changes that will affect both your mind and body. What you'll discover tonight will help you unlock a deeper sense of peace that you can carry with you long after this session ends. I promise you this, as you stay with me, you'll begin to feel the weight of your worries lift. The teachings I'll share are not just ancient wisdom. They are practical tools that you can use right now. By the end of this experience, you'll understand how to find calm and serenity, even in the midst of chaos. I encourage you to stay with me through every step of this journey, because the transformation you're seeking begins right here, right now. So before we settle in, feel free to like and subscribe only if this space brings you peace. And while you're here, why not share where you're tuning in from? What time is it in your part of the world? I'd love to know how this practice is reaching you wherever you are. Let's start by exploring the profound question that Buddha asked. What is the purpose of life when suffering is a part of it? Together, we'll dive into the wisdom that can help us understand this better and reveal the answers that have the power to bring true peace into your life. The answers may surprise you, and the journey ahead will be one of deep insight. Let's begin. Now let your breath become slow and steady. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the calm rhythm of life flowing through you. As you breathe in the present moment, gently close your eyes if you haven't already. Let yourself fully inhabit this space here and now, without any need to rush or be anywhere else. The world can wait for just a little while as we sit together in stillness. Life is filled with moments of beauty, yes, but it also brings with it moments of pain, loss, and heartache. You've felt it, haven't you? The sharp sting of sorrow, the weight of grief, the quiet ache of loneliness that settles into your chest. At times, it can feel like the world is too heavy to bear, like you're drowning under the weight of it all. But here is where the teachings of the Buddha offer us a new perspective, one that can transform how we experience life's inevitable difficulties. He said, "Life is suffering." At first, this might sound harsh, even cruel. To think that life itself is suffering feels like a heavy truth to carry. But just for a moment, I invite you to sit with this thought, not as a burden, but as an invitation to understand something deeper. Life, with all its challenges, offers us the opportunity to grow, to learn, and ultimately, to find peace. The suffering the Buddha speaks of is not just about physical pain or hardship. It's also that feeling you get when something feels off, when you sense that no matter how much you have, it's never quite enough. We've all been there, haven't we? Chasing after something. Maybe it was a new phone, a new car, a new job, thinking that this would finally be the thing that fills us up. And for a moment it does. But then, before you know it, the joy fades. You start wanting something else, and the cycle begins again. This is the truth Buddha wanted to share with us. We chase happiness like it's a destination. But in doing so, we miss the point. Happiness is not something we arrive at. It's something we live. It's a way of being present in the moment we have right now. Think for a moment about the times in your life when you've looked for happiness outside of yourself. Perhaps you've thought, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or I'll be happy when I find the perfect partner. Maybe you thought, I'll be happy when I lose those last 10 pounds, or I'll be happy when I understand the mysteries of life better. I know I've been there. We all have. Running from one goal to the next, believing that happiness is just around the corner, that it will be waiting for us once we reach some external milestone. But then something happens. You get the promotion, you find the perfect relationship, and yet, it still feels like something's missing. You achieve one goal only to start searching for the next. And here's where it really hit me. After a breakup, I found myself lying there on the floor, heartbroken, scrolling through old pictures, wondering how I would ever feel okay again. And that's when it clicked. I realized I had been chasing happiness for years, thinking it would come once I checked off enough boxes, but I had missed the point entirely. Happiness wasn't something out there waiting for me. It was something I could create within myself in this very moment. I wonder if you too have experienced this cycle, that never-ending chase, that feeling that no matter how much you get, it's never quite enough. But here's the wisdom the Buddha offers. It's not about the chase. It's about being fully present with what is. It's about embracing this moment just as it is, without always searching for something better, something more. And this, my friend, is where suffering transforms. When we stop looking outward for happiness, when we stop chasing the next thing, we start to realize that happiness was always here inside of us, waiting to be discovered. When we begin to fully inhabit the present moment, that is when true peace begins to bloom. This brings to mind a Zen story. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, what is the most important thing in life?" The teacher smiled and pointed to a leaf gently floating on a nearby stream. The monk looked at it for a long time, waiting for the answer. Finally, the teacher said, "This leaf is the answer. Just as it drifts peacefully with the flow of the water, you must learn to float with the currents of life, without resistance, without expectation. And so it is with our lives. When we stop resisting what is, when we let go of the need to control, we find ourselves flowing with life. And in this flow, we discover the true meaning of life, not in the things we achieve, not in what we accumulate, but in how we show up for each moment. So what if, instead of striving for something we may never reach, we simply let go of the need to have everything figured out? What if we learned to be content with where we are right now? The Buddha's teachings don't ask us to reject the world or avoid pain. They ask us to see suffering clearly, to acknowledge it without judgment, and to transform our relationship with it. In your life, there may be something causing you pain right now. Perhaps it's an old wound, a lingering sadness, or a current struggle. But I invite you to look at it not as an obstacle, but as a teacher. Imagine that the pain you feel is like a stone in your hand. It's heavy, it's rough. But if you hold it gently with mindfulness and care, you can learn something from it. The stone is not your enemy. It's simply a part of your journey. Now, as you sit with this thought, I invite you to notice your body. Is there tension in your shoulders? A tightness in your chest? Just for a moment, let's be with it together. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to fix it. Just notice it. And in doing so, begin to soften your grip. Allow the tension to release slowly, gently. Remember, as the Buddha said, suffering is not the end. It is the beginning of a new path, a path toward understanding and compassion. Every moment of suffering carries with it the seed of transformation. It's not about escaping pain. It's about learning how to move through it with grace and presence. Now take a deep, cleansing breath. As you exhale, imagine that your breath is carrying away any lingering tension, any lingering expectations. Inhale peace, and exhale everything that no longer serves you. As we move forward together, I encourage you to let go of the need to understand it all right now. Life is a journey, not a puzzle to solve. Each moment, whether it brings joy or sorrow, holds the potential for connection, for peace, for presence. So let's continue walking this path step by step, without rushing, without seeking. Let's simply be here together with all that is. This moment is enough. Take a slow, deep breath again, my friend. Let the air fill your lungs slowly, gently, like the first light of dawn entering a dark room. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters your body. And then, as you exhale, imagine releasing any tension you may be holding. Let the warmth of your breath soften the edges of your thoughts, letting them dissolve with each exhale. We've already touched on the idea that life contains suffering. But now let's ask ourselves, why do we suffer? What is it that brings pain into our hearts and minds? What causes this feeling of unease, this sense that something is always out of place even when we can't quite put our finger on it? The Buddha's teachings offer us a simple yet profound answer. It is our desires, our attachments, and our clinging to things that cause our suffering. It's not the things themselves that cause us pain. Rather, it's our deep attachment to them, our belief that happiness lies in obtaining them. Think about it for a moment. When we desire something, we think that obtaining it will bring us peace, joy, fulfillment. We imagine that once we have this one thing, whether it's a new job, a perfect relationship, or even a new piece of clothing, then we will finally feel whole, complete, and at ease. But what happens when we get what we desire? Do we feel truly fulfilled as we expected? Or does that happiness fade, only to be replaced by a yearning for something else, a longing for more, something new, something different? Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you thought, I'll be happy when? Maybe it was when you received a promotion at work, or when you made a new friend, or even when you bought something you had been wanting for a long time. The joy that followed may have been real, but how long did it last? A few moments? A few days, perhaps? Then what happened? The happiness began to fade, and soon enough you found yourself wishing for something else. This, my friend, is the nature of desire. It's insatiable. No matter how much we obtain, it's never quite enough. And when we realize this, we begin to see how it keeps us trapped in an endless cycle of longing and dissatisfaction. Buddha's words echo clearly. Desire is the cause of suffering. But what does this truly mean? Does it mean that we should never desire anything at all? Should we live lives of total detachment without any cares or desires? No. Buddha didn't teach us to abandon everything, to stop caring about anything. Instead, He taught us to recognize our attachments for what they are, temporary, fleeting, and ultimately unfulfilling. And here is where transformation begins. Because when we recognize our desires as they are impermanent, elusive, and unable to bring lasting peace, we can begin to free ourselves from their grip. We can realize that true happiness does not lie in the things we acquire, but in how we relate to them. It lies in our ability to be at peace, to rest content with what we have without always reaching for more. Let me tell you a Zen story that beautifully illustrates this idea. One day, a monk approached his teacher and asked, "Master, what is the secret to happiness?" Without saying a word, the teacher pointed to a bowl of rice on the table. The monk, puzzled, asked again, "What do you mean by this?" The teacher smiled gently and replied, "When you are hungry, eat. When you are tired, rest. But do not hold on to the hunger and do not hold on to the rest." Happiness comes when you can simply be in each moment without clinging. This story carries a profound lesson. Happiness is not something to chase. It is not something to attain like a distant goal. It is something to be experienced right here, right now, in the present moment. Whether we are eating a meal, resting, or walking in nature, true contentment comes when we stop clinging to the idea that we need something to make us happy. Happiness comes when we can simply be with what is, with no attachment to what could be. In these moments, we discover a quiet peace. Now take a moment to consider this. When was the last time you allowed yourself to simply be, not wishing for something different, not hoping for something more, just being as you are in the here and now? Perhaps it was during a quiet moment when you were sitting alone with your thoughts, or when you felt the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the coolness of a breeze brushing past you. These simple moments, these ordinary, unadorned moments, are where true happiness lies. In this space, when we let go of the constant pull of desire, we can rest. We don't need to be chasing the next thing. We can allow ourselves to rest in the simplicity of the present moment, just as we are. We can find contentment in what we have right here, right now, without needing to add anything. This doesn't mean that life won't present us with challenges. It doesn't mean that everything will always go the way we expect. Life will still offer us ups and downs, moments of joy and sorrow. But when we learn to release our attachments, we free ourselves from the need for things to be different. And in that freedom, we find peace. Take a deep breath now, my friend. Inhale the calm, and as you exhale, feel the tension of holding on to expectations fade away. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to chase anything. Just be here in this moment, and let that be enough. Buddha said, "When you let go of desire, you will experience peace. And with each breath, you can practice letting go of your desires, your attachments, your constant need for more. You don't need to fight it. You simply need to see it, and then allow it to pass, just like a cloud drifting across the sky." As we continue together, remember, the cause of suffering is not in the things themselves, but in the way we cling to them. And the path to freedom, the path to peace, begins with seeing clearly, recognizing that our desires, though natural, are not the source of lasting happiness. So take another deep breath, and in this breath, let go of the longing that grips your heart. Rest in the peace that comes from simply being just as you are. No need to rush, no need to strive. Simply be. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply and calmly, let us turn our attention to something that touches us all in every moment of our lives: change. Change is constant. Nothing stays the same. Whether it is the passing of time, the movement of seasons, or the shifts within our own hearts change is a constant companion. And yet, how often do we resist it? How often do we cling to what we have, wishing that the good moments could last forever, or hoping that the difficult moments will never come? Think about the times in your life when you've wished that things would stay the same. Perhaps it was a beautiful moment of joy when everything felt just right and you wanted to hold on to it forever. Or maybe it was a moment of peace and stillness where you felt at ease and you wished that this feeling would never fade. But change is inevitable. It comes whether we are ready for it or not. As Buddha taught, all things are impermanent. Everything, every experience, every feeling, every object has its beginning and its end. We are born, we grow, we age, and we die. The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, and the river you're gazing at right now is never the same from one moment to the next. And neither are you. It's easy to forget this, isn't it? In the moments when we feel secure, we long for that security to last forever. But when things become difficult, we want them to end immediately, as if change is something to be feared. And yet, no matter how much we resist, change continues to unfold moment by moment, whether we are aware of it or not. Think back for a moment. Has there been a time in your life when you tried to hold on to something, perhaps a relationship, a job, or a phase of your life that felt safe and stable? Maybe you tried to stop time to freeze that moment because you feared losing it. But what happened? Eventually, it changed, as everything does. And when it did, perhaps you felt a sense of loss, a wave of grief, or a longing for things to be the way they once were. But here's the beautiful thing Buddha teaches us. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is not the enemy. In fact, it's what makes life so precious. Each moment is unique, each experience fleeting, and that is what makes it worthy of our attention and care. The moment is all we have. Buddha said, "This moment right here, right now, is all we truly possess. So why not embrace it? Think about it. If everything stayed the same forever, would life hold the same beauty? Would we be able to experience the richness of joy, the sweetness of love, or even the relief of peace if we never knew change? The truth is, it is because things change that they become meaningful. It is the impermanence of life that gives each moment its unique and fleeting beauty. If we could hold on to everything, we would never learn to appreciate its presence. We would never learn to be truly grateful for what we have, because it would always be there. Buddha invites us to let go of our resistance to change. We don't need to push against it. We don't need to try and stop it. Instead, we can learn to flow with it, to dance with the rhythm of life, knowing that nothing is permanent, and that is the beauty of it. The natural flow of life is not something to be controlled or feared. It is something to be embraced with open arms and an open heart. Let's pause for a moment now and reflect on this. Think about the changes in your own life. Perhaps it's the changing seasons you've witnessed as one season flows into the next. Maybe it's the changes in your own heart and mind as you grow and evolve through your experiences. Or perhaps you've noticed changes in your relationships, your work, or even in your body. As you reflect on these changes, don't resist them. Don't try to make them stop or go back to how they were. Instead, simply acknowledge them. Acknowledge the flow of life. Everything is moving, and that is okay. In fact, that is more than okay. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. There's a Zen story that beautifully illustrates this. A Zen master standing by the river asked his student, "Do you see how the water flows endlessly, never the same from one moment to the next. The student nodded, observing the river's flow. The master then said, "Just as this water is constantly changing, so too is your life. When you try to hold on to the water, it slips through your fingers. But when you let go, you can swim with the current, moving effortlessly toward peace." In this story, the river represents the flow of life. It is ever-changing, never stagnant, always moving forward. We can either resist the current, struggle against it, and exhaust ourselves, or we can let go and float with the current, embracing the changes that come. We can trust that life will carry us where we need to go if we just stop trying to control it so tightly. Take a moment now, my friend. Think about something in your life that you've been trying to hold on to. Perhaps a memory, a dream, or even a fear. Picture it as a leaf gently floating on a stream. Notice how it moves with the water flowing effortlessly without resistance. Now, can you let go of your grip on that leaf? Can you allow it to float away, knowing that it will go where it needs to go, and that it is okay to let it go? Buddha teaches us that impermanence is the nature of all things, and when we accept that we no longer have to fight against life, we no longer have to be afraid of the changes. Because in truth, the only thing that is constant is change itself. And within that change, there is freedom. There is peace. Take a deep breath now and let it out slowly. As you breathe, feel the weight of holding on loosen just a little. Feel yourself relax into the truth that nothing lasts forever. And that's okay. In fact, that's more than okay. It's the very thing that makes life so precious. Each moment is a gift. Each change brings new lessons, new growth, and new opportunities for peace. Remember, everything is impermanent. But even in this truth, there is freedom. There is peace. So as you sit here in this moment, allow yourself to rest in the flow of life. Let go of the need to control the need to hold on. Trust that just as the river moves toward the ocean, your life will continue to unfold naturally, beautifully, and with purpose. Take another slow, deep breath, my friend. Inhale gently, feeling the coolness of the air entering your body, filling your lungs, filling you with life. Hold it for a moment, letting the stillness grow within you, and then slowly exhale. As you release the air, let go of any tightness in your body, any scattered thoughts that may still be lingering. Feel yourself sinking deeper into the calm of this moment. Each breath is an invitation to relax, to soften, to be present, right here, right now. As we sit together in this stillness, let's turn our attention to something the Buddha teaches us that is both simple and profound: the path to liberation. In the face of all the suffering we experience in life, it's easy to feel lost at times, overwhelmed by the constant changes, the desires that pull us in different directions, and the attachments that seem to define us. Perhaps you have felt this way, uncertain about how to break free from the cycle of desire, attachment, and suffering. But here, the Buddha's teachings offer us a path, not a distant goal, not a destination far off in the future, but a way of being in the world. It is a path that leads to freedom, to peace, and to liberation from the suffering that we often carry. This path is the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide that shows us how to live in harmony with the world around us, how to live with ourselves in a way that fosters peace, understanding, and compassion. The path is not something we need to achieve all at once. It is not about perfection, but about living each day with intention, with awareness, and with the willingness to grow. So let's take a moment now with gentleness and patience to explore this path, step by step, as we learn how to walk the road that leads to freedom. Right. Understanding. The first step is right understanding or right view. This is about seeing the world clearly. It's about understanding the true nature of reality. It's about seeing the impermanence of all things, the truth that suffering exists, and the understanding that there is a way out of suffering. It's about seeing clearly, without illusion, the interconnectedness of all things and how each moment, each experience is shaped by our perceptions. In each moment, we can ask ourselves, am I seeing this situation clearly? Am I attached to an outcome that may not align with reality? With right understanding, we begin to recognize the patterns of suffering in our lives. We start to see the deeper causes of our discomfort, our longing, and our dissatisfaction. Through that understanding, we gain insight into the possibility of release, of letting go, of finding peace, not through acquiring more, but through seeing things as they truly are. Right intention. The second step is right intention. This is about our mental attitude, our inner motivations, and the intentions behind our actions. Buddha teaches us to cultivate an intention of kindness, compassion, and renunciation. Right intention encourages us to act not out of greed or hatred, but out of a deep desire to live ethically, to live with care for others and for the world around us. Pause for a moment and think back to a time when your intention was pure. Can you remember a time when you acted from a place of love, kindness, or understanding? Even in small actions, helping someone in need, offering a gentle word of encouragement, or simply offering your presence, your intention becomes the foundation for peace. Right intention asks us to reflect on our intentions before we act, to check if our motivations are in alignment with wisdom, peace, and compassion. Right speech. The third step is right speech. Our words have great power, don't they? Our words can heal or hurt, build or destroy. Buddha teaches us that right speech is about speaking truthfully, kindly, and harmoniously. It's about using our words to uplift, to share truth, and to bring peace to ourselves and others. Right speech also teaches us to avoid harsh, divisive, or untrue words, knowing that our words are a reflection of our inner world. Think about the difference it makes when you speak with kindness. Can you recall moments when your words brought comfort or understanding to someone? Or when your words lifted the heaviness in the air, bringing peace to the conversation? Right. Speech encourages us to speak with intention and awareness, creating harmony through the power of words. Right action. The fourth step is right action. This step is about living in alignment with our values. It's about acting with integrity and mindfulness, avoiding harm to ourselves and others, and practicing kindness in all we do. Right action calls us to live ethically, being mindful of the impact of our choices on the world around us. Think of moments when you acted with integrity, when you stayed true to your values and made decisions that reflected your highest self. Whether it was offering a helping hand, being honest with yourself, or simply choosing kindness over convenience. Right. Action encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and live in a way that nurtures peace and well-being for ourselves and others. Right livelihood. The fifth step is right livelihood. This is about earning a living in a way that does not cause harm to others. It's about choosing work that is ethical, that contributes to the well-being of society, and that aligns with our deepest values. Right livelihood reminds us that how we make our living can be an expression of mindfulness, integrity, and compassion. Take a moment now to reflect on your own work. Does it bring you peace? Does it contribute to the greater good? Right. Livelihood invites us to find work that not only sustains us financially, but also nourishes our hearts. It reminds us that how we choose to make a living is part of our spiritual journey, and it has the power to create harmony in the world. Right effort. The sixth step is right effort. This is the practice of cultivating wholesome states of mind and abandoning unwholesome ones. It's about putting effort into our spiritual growth effort to develop patience, kindness, wisdom, and compassion. Right effort teaches us to persevere in our practice even when it feels difficult, and to make continuous efforts to transform our minds, moment by moment. Think back to a time when you made an effort to stay calm, to practice patience, or to act with wisdom in a challenging situation. Right effort is not about pushing ourselves to be perfect, but about making consistent efforts to grow, to evolve, and to create peace in our lives. Even in the smallest acts, we practice cultivating the qualities that bring us closer to liberation. Right mindfulness. The seventh step is right mindfulness. This is the practice of being fully present in each moment. It's about observing our thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment. Right mindfulness is about cultivating awareness in everything we do, from washing the dishes to walking in nature, from talking with a friend to sitting in silence. Can you remember a moment when you were completely present, when you weren't lost in thoughts, worries, or distractions? Right. Mindfulness invites us to live with awareness, to see life as it truly is, without the filters of our judgments or past experiences. When we practice mindfulness, we come back to the simple joy of being just as we are in each moment. Right concentration. Finally, we come to right concentration. This step is about developing a calm, focused mind through meditation. Right concentration helps us train our minds to be still, to let go of distractions, and to cultivate deep insight. Through meditation, we can experience the peace that arises from being fully concentrated in the present moment, free from the pull of desires and attachments. When you sit quietly focusing on your breath, what do you notice? What does it feel like to be deeply present without the distractions of the outside world? Right. Concentration helps us deepen our connection to our inner wisdom, to cultivate peace that comes from stillness, and to unlock the clarity that lies within each of us. As we reflect on the Noble Eightfold Path, we realize that it is not something we achieve once and for all. It's a lifelong journey, a practice we return to every day, moment by moment. And it is through walking this path with right understanding, right intention, and all the other steps that we can move closer to freedom, peace, and the liberation that Buddha promised. Take a deep breath now. Let the teachings of the Eightfold Path settle into your heart. As you exhale, feel a sense of lightness and openness, knowing that with each step you take on this path, you are moving closer to the peace and freedom that Buddha envisioned for all of us. Take a deep, slow breath again, my friend. Feel the cool air enter your body, filling your lungs, nourishing you with life. Hold it for just a moment, savoring the stillness of the breath. And then slowly, gently exhale, releasing any tension, any tightness that may be lingering in your body. Let each breath carry you deeper into the present moment. With every breath, soften your body, quiet your mind, and bring your awareness fully here, fully now, where peace resides. In the stillness of this moment, I want to invite you to reflect on something that is at the very core of our human experience: happiness. We all seek it, don't we? We strive for it, we chase it, hoping that one day we'll find that lasting joy, that perfect moment of fulfillment that we've been longing for. But the question arises, why do we chase happiness? Is it because we believe happiness is somewhere out there waiting for us, that if we only achieve this or that, we will finally feel content? Perhaps we think, if I get the right job, the perfect partner, the ideal amount of money, then I'll be happy. But when we pause and reflect, does that really happen? Do we ever truly reach happiness in the way we expect? Take a moment to think about this. When was the last time you thought, I will be happy when? Maybe it was when you thought, I'll be happy when I have more time for myself, or I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or when I buy that new house or car. We place our happiness in these distant goals, believing that once we reach them, we will finally experience peace and contentment. But as you may have experienced the moment we reach that goal, we often find ourselves still searching for something else. For a brief moment, perhaps, there's joy, maybe even excitement. But soon after, the sense of fulfillment fades, and we find ourselves yearning for something new, something more. This cycle is endless, isn't it? The Buddha's teachings offer a profound insight into this. He teaches us that happiness is not something we chase. In fact, chasing happiness can often be the very thing that keeps us from finding it. Buddha said, "Chasing after the world's pleasures is like drinking salt water. No matter how much you drink, your thirst will never be quenched." We chase happiness through external circumstances, jobs, possessions, relationships, status. But all of these things are impermanent. They come, they go. And when we attach our happiness to things that are fleeting, we will always find ourselves thirsty, always reaching for something more, something that never truly satisfies. But what if happiness isn't something we find in the future? What if it's something we can cultivate right here, right now? What if happiness is not about chasing something outside of ourselves, but about turning inward, about finding contentment where we are, exactly as we are in this moment? Buddha teaches us that true happiness comes not from accumulating more things, but from letting go of our attachment to them. It comes from understanding that happiness isn't something we find, it's something we create. And we create it by cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and contentment in each and every moment, regardless of our external circumstances. Now take a moment to consider this. When you are truly happy, when you feel at peace, where does that happiness come from? Is it something outside of you, or is it something that rises from within? True happiness, the kind that is unshaken by external conditions, comes from being present, from embracing life as it is, rather than constantly striving for something that may never fulfill us. There is a Zen story that beautifully captures this wisdom. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, how can I find happiness?" The teacher, with a quiet smile, replied, "Go and sit by the river and watch the water flow. Don't try to catch it. Don't try to control it. Just watch it. And when you stop trying to hold on to the water, you will see the truth." The monk sat by the river, observing the water as it moved, always flowing, always changing. And over time, he realized that the water was never the same from one moment to the next. It was always moving, always changing. And in that moment, he understood. Happiness is like the river it flows. It changes, and it is present in every moment. When we stop trying to catch it, when we stop chasing it, we can simply allow it to flow through us without attachment. Now think for a moment. When have you felt truly at peace? Was it when you were striving for something, or was it when you were simply being fully present in the moment? Perhaps it was during a quiet moment of reflection, a peaceful walk through nature, or even the simple act of sitting in stillness with no need to achieve or attain anything. These moments are not driven by the need to achieve, but by the ability to let go and be fully present in the here and now. So take a deep breath now and feel the peace that is available to you right here, right now. There is no need to chase anything. You do not need to be somewhere else doing something else. The happiness you seek is already here within you, in this moment. Buddha's teachings remind us that true happiness is not found through external accomplishments, through the accumulation of wealth or status, but through the internal cultivation of peace, contentment, and wisdom. It's about letting go of the constant desire for more and simply allowing ourselves to rest in the present moment just as it is. Let's pause for a moment now. Take a deep breath and notice your body, your breath, your heart. Are you content right now just as you are? Can you rest in this moment free from the need to chase, to strive to do more? Can you let yourself simply be? As you breathe, feel the weight of yearning for more begin to loosen just a little. Feel the space inside you open and let that space be filled with peace. You do not need to chase happiness. It is already here within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Buddha's words echo softly. Happiness comes not from getting what you want, but from letting go of what you think you need. Let go of the constant striving. Let go of the chase, and allow yourself to rest in the joy of simply being, simply breathing, simply existing. Take one final deep breath now, and as you exhale, feel the peace that comes from knowing happiness is not something to chase. It is something to cultivate moment by moment by simply being present with what is. Take a deep, slow breath again, my friend. Inhale deeply, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, nourishing you, bringing you back to the present moment. Hold that breath for just a second, letting it fill you. Then exhale slowly, releasing any tightness, any strain you may be holding in your body. With every exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper into the peace of this moment. With each breath, let go of anything that pulls you away from the stillness of now. Allow your body to soften, your mind to settle, and simply be here present with yourself in the peace of this moment. Now, as you settle deeper into the quiet rhythm of your breath, I want to invite you to reflect on something that is at the very core of our human experience: happiness and meaning. We often find ourselves searching for meaning, don't we? We seek it, we chase it, believing that it's something elusive, something we can only find in the future or in distant dreams. We look for meaning in success, in relationships, in achievements, in the constant pursuit of happiness. But the question is, why do we chase happiness? Why do we search for meaning outside of ourselves? Is it because we believe that happiness and meaning are somewhere out there waiting for us to find them? That if we only achieve this or that, we will finally be content, finally feel fulfilled? Perhaps we think that if we get the right job, the perfect partner, or the perfect amount of wealth, then we will be truly happy. But when we pause to think about it, does that really happen? Do we ever truly reach happiness in the way we expect? Take a moment now to reflect on your own life. When was the last time you thought, I will be happy when? Maybe you thought, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or I'll be happy when I buy that new house or car, or I'll be happy when I can finally take that long-desired vacation. We place our happiness and meaning in these distant goals, believing that once we reach them, we will feel complete, peaceful, and content. But as you may have experienced the moment we achieve these things, we often find ourselves still searching for something else. There may be a brief moment of joy, even excitement, but that feeling fades. Soon we are left yearning for more, for something else. This cycle continues, doesn't it? The happiness we thought we'd find fades, and we are left with the same thirst, the same yearning, always reaching for the next thing. Buddha's teachings offer a profound insight into this cycle. He teaches us that happiness is not something we chase. In fact, chasing happiness can often be the very thing that keeps us from finding it. The Buddha said, "Chasing after the world's pleasures is like drinking salt water. No matter how much you drink, your thirst will never be quenched." We chase happiness through external circumstances, jobs, possessions, relationships, status. But all of these things are impermanent. They come, they go. And when we attach our happiness to things that are fleeting, we find ourselves constantly thirsty, always longing for something more, something that never truly satisfies. But what if I told you that happiness and meaning are not found in the future? What if they aren't somewhere out there waiting for you to reach them? What if happiness and meaning are not about chasing something outside of yourself, but about turning inward and finding contentment, peace and purpose, right here, right now? Buddha teaches us that true happiness comes not from accumulating more things, but from letting go of our attachment to them. It comes from understanding that happiness isn't something we find, it's something we create within ourselves in the present moment. We create it by cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and contentment by being fully present with our lives as they are right now. Take a moment now and think about this. When you feel truly at peace, when you experience happiness, where does that feeling come from? Is it something outside of you, or is it something that rises within you? True happiness, the kind that isn't shaken by circumstances, comes from being present, from embracing life exactly as it is, rather than constantly striving for something that may never satisfy us. There's a Zen story that captures this wisdom beautifully. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, how can I find happiness?" The teacher smiled and simply pointed to the river nearby. "Sit by the river and watch the water flow. Do not try to catch it or control it. Just watch it as it flows." The monk sat watching the river, and after a while he realized something profound. The water was always flowing, always changing, never the same from one moment to the next. And in that realization, the monk understood. Happiness is like the river. It flows, it changes, and it is present in every moment. When we stop trying to catch it, stop striving to possess it, we can simply allow it to flow through us, just like the river without attachment. Think for a moment about times in your life when you felt truly alive, truly at peace. Was it during a big achievement? Or was it in a quiet, unremarkable moment, perhaps when you were walking through nature, holding the hand of someone you love, or sitting peacefully in your favorite chair, simply breathing? It's often in these quiet, everyday moments that we feel deeply alive and truly connected to the present, when we are fully present with ourselves and with the world around us. Buddha's teachings show us that life's meaning is not something to be chased. It is not something to be found by looking outward or by achieving more. The meaning of life is revealed to us through our awareness of each moment. It is in the ability to stop chasing, to stop seeking, and simply be present with what is. It's in the act of living fully in the now, not in the striving to reach some distant point. So let's pause together for a moment. As you breathe in, feel the fullness of the breath, the richness of life that is already here. As you exhale, let go of the need to search for something more. Feel the peace and meaning already present in this moment, in the simple act of breathing, in the stillness of your body, and in the awareness that you are alive, right here, right now. Buddha said, "The meaning of life is to be found in every moment. To live fully is to live mindfully. to experience life with awareness. Take that to heart as you rest here in this moment, breathing and being. Life is not far away. It is here right now in the simple experience of being. Take another deep, slow breath, my friend. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs with the cool, refreshing air. As you feel the air entering your body, notice how it fills you with life and energy, nourishing every cell. Hold the breath gently for just a moment, and then exhale slowly, feeling the warmth of the breath leaving your body. As you release the air, let go of any tightness, any strain you may be holding onto, allowing yourself to soften into the peace of the present moment. With every breath, let yourself sink deeper into the stillness, fully here, fully present with yourself. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply and naturally, let's turn our attention to something that many of us seek, but often overlook: acceptance. Acceptance of life as it is, of the present moment, and of ourselves. It is so easy to get caught up in the idea that life needs to be different, that we need to change ourselves, our circumstances, or the world around us in order to find peace, happiness, or fulfillment. We might feel that if only we were in a different place or had a different set of circumstances, then life would be better, more meaningful. But Buddha's teachings offer us a simple yet profound truth. Acceptance is the key to peace. When we resist life as it is, when we fight against the reality of the present moment, we create inner conflict. We spend our energy wishing things were different, wishing circumstances would change, and that wishing pulls us away from the peace that is always available to us. We become trapped in our expectations and desires, wanting things to be how we think they should be. But in doing so, we create suffering. We are disconnected from the now, from what is. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a river. The water is flowing, moving with grace and ease. Now imagine that you decide to swim upstream, fighting against the current. How exhausting that would be. You would waste your energy trying to push against the flow of life. But if you allowed yourself to simply float with the current, letting go of the need to fight, you would find yourself moving effortlessly along. Life, much like the river, has a flow. And when we learn to align ourselves with that flow instead of resisting it, we experience peace. Think back for a moment to a time when you were struggling with a situation, wishing it were different. Perhaps you were going through a challenge, facing something difficult, and you found yourself wishing it would just end, wishing it would be over. How did that feel? What was it like to resist the situation, to wish for something other than what was? Did it bring you peace, or did it deepen your frustration, your discomfort? Now reflect on a time when you were able to accept a difficult situation as it was, without wishing for it to change. Maybe it was a loss, a disappointment, or a difficult emotion. Instead of fighting it, you allowed yourself to feel it, to experience it fully, without judgment, without resistance. Did you find that peace came more easily when you accepted the situation rather than pushing against it? Did you find that by accepting it, the weight of it lightened? This is the essence of the Buddha's teachings. Acceptance of the present moment. It doesn't mean resignation or giving up or settling for less. Acceptance is not about surrendering to defeat. It means recognizing the reality of what is, without resistance, without judgment. When we accept things as they are, we create space for inner peace, for clarity, and for wisdom to arise. Buddha said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." The present moment is all we truly have. We cannot change the past, and the future is unknown. But right now, in this very moment, we can choose how to respond to life. We can choose to be fully present, to accept life as it is, without wishing it to be different. There is a Zen story that captures this wisdom beautifully. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, how can I find peace?" The master looked at him for a moment, then simply pointed to the sky, then to the earth, and finally to the monk's own heart. Look at the sky, look at the earth, look inside yourself. The meaning of life is in all things, and in every moment. It is not far away, it is here. The master's words point to something deep. The meaning of life and peace comes when we stop resisting the flow of life, when we stop wishing things were different and simply accept what is. We don't need to fight against the present moment. We only need to be with it fully as it is. Think for a moment now. What is something in your life that you have been resisting? Perhaps it's a situation you're going through or even a part of yourself that you've struggled to accept. Can you begin to soften your resistance? Can you allow yourself to simply experience it without wishing it were different, without judging it? This doesn't mean that you have to like the situation or approve of it. Acceptance isn't about condoning what is happening. It simply means acknowledging it, recognizing that it is what it is, and in this moment, it's okay. When we let go of resistance, we free ourselves from the constant struggle. We stop swimming upstream, and we begin to float downstream with the current of life where peace resides. Buddha teaches us that true peace comes from accepting the impermanence of life. Every moment is fleeting. The joy you feel today may not last forever, and the sorrow you feel now will eventually pass. Life is a river constantly moving, constantly changing. When we try to hold onto the river, we exhaust ourselves. But when we learn to flow with it, we find peace in the journey. We find peace in the present moment. Take a deep breath now, and as you exhale, feel yourself letting go of the need to control or resist the present moment. Feel the space inside you open a space where peace can enter. Life is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. You do not need to fight it. You do not need to force it. Buddha's teachings remind us that acceptance is not resignation. It is not giving up. It is the act of meeting life with a full heart, with awareness, and with presence. It's about choosing to rest in the peace of the now, knowing that all things, whether joyful or painful, are temporary and part of the flow of life. So as you sit here in this moment, allow yourself to rest in the acceptance of what is. Let go of the need for life to be different. Embrace the present moment and know that this is enough. This moment right here is enough. Take another deep, slow breath, my friend. Feel the air enter your lungs, cool and refreshing. Hold it gently for a moment, savoring the stillness that accompanies each breath, the quiet rhythm of life within you. And then exhale slowly, allowing the tension to release the heaviness to melt away. With each exhale, let yourself sink deeper into this moment, deeper into the peace that is always available to you. Feel your mind soften, your heart open, and simply be here, fully present, fully alive. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply and naturally, I invite you to turn your attention to something that is at the very core of the Buddha's teachings, the discovery of our true self. So often we get caught in the idea of who we think we are. We identify ourselves with labels, with the roles we play in life, with the stories we tell ourselves. We may think we are our job, our family, our past experiences, or even our struggles. We may see ourselves through the lens of our successes, our failures, or our desires. But Buddha invites us to look deeper, to explore a truth that transcends all of these identities. He teaches us to let go of our attachments to the self we cling to. This self is not our true nature. It is a collection of ever-changing experiences, thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. In Buddhism, there is a teaching called anatta, or non-self, which reveals a profound truth. The self we cling to is not the true self. The Buddha teaches us that our self is not a fixed permanent entity. It is not something we can grasp or hold on to. Rather, it is a fluid and transient collection formed by the constant ebb and flow of our thoughts, actions, and interactions. So take a moment now and think about who you are. Who are you really? How do you define yourself? Perhaps you identify as a parent, a professional, a friend, or a partner. Maybe you see yourself through the lens of your success or your failures, or perhaps by your desires or struggles. But beyond these roles, beyond the labels you attach to yourself, who are you? What is the essence of who you are, the part of you that transcends any one identity, any one experience? Buddha encourages us to let go of these attachments to our identity. He teaches us that our true nature is beyond all labels, beyond all judgments. It is beyond the roles we play or the things we accumulate in life. Our true self is not confined to any story, any role, or any experience. It is the awareness that witnesses everything, the presence that is always here, always available, no matter what comes and goes. Can you recall a moment in your life when you were simply being? When you weren't trying to achieve anything or become something, but were just existing without effort? Maybe it was a moment of stillness when you were sitting quietly, simply enjoying the silence. Or perhaps when you were walking in nature, feeling the breeze gently brush your face, your body fully engaged in the present moment. In those moments, there was no striving, no need to be anything other than what you were. There was just you simply being fully alive, fully present. This is your true self, but we often forget this truth. We tend to identify ourselves with the ever-changing aspects of our lives, our thoughts, our emotions, our successes, and our failures. We think that who we are is shaped by these fleeting experiences. Yet the Buddha teaches us that the essence of who we are is not defined by anything that changes. It is the awareness that remains constant, no matter how everything else around us changes. It is the deep presence that is always here, always alive. In the Zen tradition, there is a story of a student who asked his master, "What is the essence of Zen?" The master replied, "What is the essence of your mind right now?" The student was silent for a moment, and then the master continued, "That, my friend, is Zen." This story beautifully illustrates the idea that our true self is not something we can define or understand with our minds. It is not something we can grasp or analyze. It is the quiet awareness that is present in each moment, the stillness that observes the flow of life without judgment, without attachment. Our true self is found in this awareness. Take a moment now to reflect on your own mind. Can you feel the awareness that is simply observing everything? The thoughts that come and go, the emotions that arise and fade, the sensations that appear and disappear. All of these are temporary, passing like clouds in the sky. But there is something deeper within you that witnesses all of these things. This awareness is your true self. It is always here, always present, even when the world around you is shifting, changing, and moving. When we look closely, we see that the true self is not something we can find by searching outside of ourselves. It is not hidden in any achievement, in any relationship, or in any material possession. It is already here within us, in the stillness of our heart, in the quiet space between our thoughts, in the breath that moves in and out of our body. Your true self is found in the present moment, in the awareness of being. Buddha invites us to recognize this truth, to see through the illusion of the self we cling to, and to rest in the awareness that is our true nature. When we stop identifying with the ever-changing aspects of ourselves, we begin to experience the peace that comes from simply being. We realize that we are not defined by our roles, our successes, or our failures. We are defined by the awareness that is always present, always alive, always here. So take a deep breath now. As you breathe, feel the awareness within you, the awareness that is not attached to any label, any identity, any story. Simply be with this awareness. Let go of the need to define yourself, the need to be anything other than what you are right now, the observer, the presence that is always here, always awake, always alive. Buddha's teachings remind us that our true self cannot be found through the stories we tell ourselves or the roles we play in the world. It is found in the awareness that transcends these stories. It is found in the silence between thoughts, in the stillness of the present moment. Your true self is not far away. It is here right now in the simple experience of being. So as you sit here in this moment, allow yourself to rest in the awareness of who you truly are. Let go of the need to be anything or anyone. Simply be. You are enough just as you are. And in this simplicity, in this stillness, you will find your true self already whole, already complete. Take another deep breath, my friend. Inhale slowly, feeling the cool air entering your lungs, filling you with life. Hold it for just a moment, feeling the stillness and peace that arises in this pause, and then gently exhale, letting go of any tension or discomfort, releasing any worries that may have been lingering in your mind or body. With each breath, allow yourself to sink deeper into the present moment, feeling more grounded, more anchored in the peaceful space around you. As you sit in this quiet space, fully present with yourself, let's turn our attention to something that is at the heart of the Buddha's teachings, the powerful force of love and compassion. We often think of love as something personal, something we feel for those closest to us, for those we care about deeply. It's easy to associate love with attachment, with wanting to hold on to people or things, or with seeking fulfillment through relationships. But the Buddha teaches us something much deeper and far-reaching about love. He shows us that true love is not based on possession or attachment. True love in the Buddhist sense is not about what we can get from others or how we can control our relationships. It is not rooted in desire or need. True love is unconditional. It is love that flows freely, without expectations, without clinging, and without seeking anything in return. It is a love that transcends the limitations of the ego, and it is rooted in compassion, the deep understanding of others' suffering, and a genuine wish to alleviate it. Take a moment now and reflect on your own experience of love. What does love mean to you? How do you understand love in your own life? Do you often associate love with a sense of possession or ownership? Or do you see love as something expansive, something that gives, something that allows space for the other person to be themselves? Can you recall a moment when your love for someone felt completely free of attachment, when it was just the joy of caring for another being without any expectation of reward or return? Buddha's love was like this. He didn't love others because of what they could offer him. He loved because he understood the universal suffering of all beings and wished for all beings to be free from that suffering. True love is rooted in compassion, the ability to see others as they truly are without judgment, and to hold them in our hearts with kindness and empathy. Buddha's love was the love of a heart that saw the beauty and potential in all beings, even when they were lost in their struggles. Think for a moment about someone you love deeply in your life. Maybe it's a friend, a partner, a family member, or even a child. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the love you have for them. Now try to step beyond any attachments or expectations you may have tied to that love. Imagine that your love for them is simply an expression of kindness, a pure desire for them to be happy, free from suffering and fulfilled. How does that love feel free of expectation? How does it shift in your heart? The Buddha teaches us that compassion is the highest form of love. Compassion is the ability to feel the pain of others, to recognize their suffering as our own, and to wish for them to be free from it. It is not about pity, but about recognizing the shared humanity in all beings. Compassion sees no distinction between self and other. It is not limited by attachment or expectation. It is the love that sees another person's humanity and responds with kindness, patience, and care. There's a beautiful Zen story that illustrates this teaching perfectly. One day, a monk asked his teacher, "Master, how can I truly love others?" The teacher smiled gently and said, "Look at the flowers. They bloom for all to see, without asking for anything in return. They give off their fragrance without thinking of who will benefit from it. In the same way, love and compassion should flow from you, without attachment, without expectation, without needing anything in return." This story reminds us that true love and compassion are like the flowers. They are not given with conditions or limitations. They simply flow. To love and to be compassionate, as Buddha teaches, is to love without the need to possess or control, to love without demanding or expecting, and without clinging. Love that is given without attachment is pure and free, unburdened by desire. Take a moment to reflect on the relationships around you. Do you find that your love for others is often tied to expectations? Do you love only when others meet your needs or desires? Or can you love freely without expecting anything in return? True love, the Buddha's love, is unconditional. It is given freely without attachment. This doesn't mean that we shouldn't care for others, or that we should distance ourselves emotionally. It means that our love is not bound by conditions. We love because it is our nature to love. We love because it brings peace and joy to both ourselves and others. When we practice true love, we are not trying to change others or make them fulfill our needs. Instead, we accept them as they are, and in that acceptance, we create a space where love can truly flourish. The Buddha also teaches us that compassion must begin with ourselves. If we cannot love ourselves with the same compassion we wish to offer others, how can we fully give love to them? Self-compassion is not about ego or selfishness. It is about recognizing our own suffering and embracing it with kindness, accepting our flaws and mistakes without judgment. Self-compassion is about treating ourselves with the same love, patience, and care that we would offer to a dear friend. When we practice self-compassion, we free ourselves from the inner barriers that prevent us from giving love and compassion freely to others. Think back to the last time you were hard on yourself. Maybe you made a mistake, or maybe you didn't meet your own expectations. How did you treat yourself? Did you show yourself kindness? Or did you criticize yourself, adding to your own suffering? Buddha teaches us that self-compassion is the foundation of all love. If we do not love ourselves, we cannot truly love others. Compassion starts within. Take a deep breath now, my friend, and as you exhale, feel a wave of compassion for yourself. You are deserving of love and kindness just as much as anyone else. Embrace yourself with the same warmth and understanding that you would offer to a friend. Let your heart open to yourself, knowing that love and compassion begin within. Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." And from this place of self-love, we can extend compassion to others. Our love becomes a reflection of the peace and understanding we have cultivated within. We love not to receive anything, but simply because it is our nature to give freely, without attachment, without judgment. As we sit here together in this moment, allow yourself to feel the love and compassion within you. Let it flow freely, like the fragrance of flowers, spreading warmth and kindness to all beings. You do not need to hold on to it. It is enough simply to let it flow from your heart, without expectation, without condition. Take one more deep breath now, and as you exhale, feel your heart expand, filled with the truth of love and compassion. You are capable of loving in this way without limits, without barriers. Your love is a gift to the world, and as you give it freely, you open yourself to the boundless peace and joy that come from loving unconditionally. Take a deep, slow breath again, my friend. Inhale gently, feeling the cool air filling your lungs, bringing new life into your body. Hold it for just a moment, letting the stillness settle within you. And then slowly exhale, releasing any tension, any thoughts or worries that might be lingering. With each breath, allow yourself to sink even deeper into this moment, feeling the peace that surrounds you, grounding you in the now. As we rest in this present space, let's reflect on something that lies at the heart of the Buddha's teachings, living fully. Often we hear about living in the moment, being present, and embracing life. But what does it really mean to live fully? Is it about achieving success or fulfilling goals? Is it about accumulating experiences or possessions? Buddha teaches us that living fully isn't about doing more or striving harder. It's about embracing each moment as it comes with open eyes, with awareness, and with gratitude. Take a moment now to reflect on your own life. What does it mean to you to live fully? Have you been caught up in striving for the next thing, the next goal, the next milestone, always thinking that happiness and fulfillment are just beyond your reach? Or can you remember a time when you were fully immersed in the present moment, when you weren't worried about what was next or where you were headed, but were simply here? Living fully is not about chasing something that lies in the future. It's about embracing the now. It's about being present in the fullness of the moment, without judgment, without expectations. Buddha teaches us that life is impermanent and each moment is fleeting. When we become aware of this, we begin to understand the preciousness of every single moment, how it is a gift that we may never have again. Think about the last time you were truly present in the moment. Perhaps it was during a quiet walk in nature, or maybe it was a shared moment with someone you love. You weren't thinking about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. You were simply there, experiencing the beauty, the joy, the peace of the present moment. In that moment, you were living fully. Buddha teaches us that mindfulness is the key to living fully. Mindfulness means paying attention to what is happening right now with full awareness, without distraction or judgment. It means being fully present with whatever is happening in your life at this very moment, whether you are eating, walking, talking, or simply sitting in stillness. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to see that each moment is alive, filled with potential and meaning. Every breath, every step, every interaction has the power to connect us more deeply with ourselves and the world around us. The ordinary moments of life become extraordinary when we approach them with mindfulness. Living fully is about embracing the simple beauty of being alive. Think about the last time you ate a meal, for example. Were you fully present with the food, savoring its taste, feeling the warmth and nourishment it provided? Or were you distracted, perhaps thinking about something else, rushing through the meal, not fully aware of the experience? When we eat mindfully, we can appreciate the flavors, the textures, the satisfaction of nourishing our body. That is living fully in the moment. Now let's take a moment to think about how we can bring mindfulness to the simple tasks we do every day. Whether you are walking, eating, talking, or even cleaning, every moment holds the potential to be fully experienced. You don't need to wait for the big moments of life. Life itself is the big moment. When we live fully, we recognize that every moment is sacred. Every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity to experience life with depth and clarity. Buddha also teaches us that living fully means letting go of attachment to the past and future. We often find ourselves stuck in memories of what has been, or anxiously anticipating what is to come. This keeps us from being fully present. But when we let go of these attachments, we free ourselves to experience life as it is without the burden of past regrets or future fears. Take a moment now and reflect on the times when you have felt weighed down by thoughts of the past or worries about the future. How did that affect your ability to enjoy the present moment? What would it be like to let go of those thoughts, even for just a moment, and to simply be here? Letting go of attachment doesn't mean we abandon our responsibilities or our memories. It simply means we stop allowing the past or the future to steal our present experience. Buddha teaches us that true freedom comes from being present, from being able to release our grip on what has been and what might come, and simply allowing ourselves to live fully in the now. There's a Zen story that beautifully captures this teaching. A student once asked his teacher, "Master, how can I live fully?" The teacher replied, "When you are thirsty, drink. When you are hungry, eat. When you are tired, rest. But do not dwell on the past or worry about the future. Live fully in each moment, and you will discover the fullness of life." This story reminds us that living fully is not about doing more or striving harder. It is about embracing life with a deep presence, about being with what is without distraction or attachment. Whether we are working, resting, or simply being, each moment can be a doorway to fullness when we approach it with awareness and mindfulness. Take another deep breath now, my friend. As you breathe in, feel the energy of life filling you, and as you exhale, feel yourself letting go of any tension, any distractions. Allow yourself to rest fully in this moment, knowing that this is enough. Right here, right now, you are living fully. There is nothing more you need to do. Just be. Buddha said, "The present moment is the only moment that exists. Live in it fully, and you will experience peace." So as you sit here in this moment, let go of the need to hurry, to strive to be anywhere other than where you are right now. Embrace the fullness of this moment with all its simplicity and beauty. This is the path to living fully. As we come to the end of our time together, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the journey we've just shared. From the gentle teachings of Buddha to the practice of mindfulness and compassion, we've explored the path to finding peace within ourselves. We've learned that the present moment is our most precious gift, that true love and compassion are rooted in selflessness and awareness, and that living fully means embracing each moment as it is without expectation. Take a deep breath now, Feel the calm you've cultivated, the stillness that resides within you, settling like a soft glow in your heart. Allow that sense of peace to stay with you, knowing that it will continue to unfold long after this moment has passed. We've come to understand that the wisdom of the Buddha isn't just something to be heard, it's something to be lived. And as you move forward in your life, remember that these teachings are not just for moments like this, but for every moment. They are gifts you can carry with you, integrating into each breath, every step, and every interaction you have. So as you continue to explore your own path, I encourage you to carry these lessons with you. Practice mindfulness throughout your day, even in the simplest tasks. Be present. Be compassionate not only with others but also with yourself. Embrace each moment with an open heart, knowing that peace is not something to seek. It is already within you, always available. As you move forward, may you continue to find deeper levels of inner peace. May your heart remain open to love and compassion, and may you grow in wisdom and understanding. The path of Buddhism and meditation is one that offers endless opportunities for growth, for connection, and for spiritual fulfillment. Let every step you take be filled with intention, grounded in the now, and carried by the light of your own inner wisdom. Now, as we close, I want to leave you with this final thought from the Buddha. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Let these words settle within you like a soft breeze carrying the scent of flowers. You are enough just as you are, and the peace you seek is already within you. May you always carry that peace with you, and may it guide you through every day that follows. Take a moment to breathe deeply, to smile gently at yourself, and remember, each new day is another opportunity to practice, to grow, and to be fully alive in the present moment. Thank you for being here, for allowing yourself this time to rest, reflect, and connect. I wish you peace, love, and serenity as you continue on your journey. Sweet dreams.